Welcome back to 7-Minute Options. I'm going to be closing my JPM Iron Condor today, and there's a couple of interesting tidbits here that are worth talking about. So JPM Iron Condor, JPM finally pulled back a little bit today. We have 9 days to go before expiration. I usually don't like to hold positions on like this close to expiration. I usually like to get out of them or roll them with about 15 or 20 days to go. But I held them because I was waiting for JPM to pull back just a little bit. You can see it's down $2 today. I mean, it's $1.97 as of right now. It was down $2 just a few seconds ago. And basically, if I look at where we are today, it's a very narrow Iron Condor because I rolled up my puts a while ago to squeeze a little bit more premium out of it. But if I take a look at the actual Iron Condor, there we go. It's very narrow here, right? I only have like a $5 profit zone here after rolling up my puts. And you can see the flag is right there. I'm right in between my short call and my short put. That's right where I want to be. That's really the maximum here. You can see this orange line here. This is kind of where the profit is maximized today. So obviously, if I have a 160 and a 165 short call, 165.50 right in between, that would be where I would expect to have the maximum profit today, right? And then as time goes on, this line will slowly decay until it hits this faint yellow line, which is the profit and loss curve at expiration. But we're not going to wait until expiration. I'm going to exit this today. So as of this morning, as of yesterday, the stock was right around 165. It was just at my short call, and it moved down $2 today. So now I can finally close it and actually eke out a small win. So brief history. We opened the Iron Condor back on May 3rd, and back then we had the long, the short call, the short put. The puts were down here at the 145, 150, and right away JPM went up. It tested the call. Right when it tested the call, I rolled up my my puts to squeeze a little bit more out of it, and then it tested it again, and it actually breached my short call, and I was in a losing position. I was down about $100, $150 on the position. And since then, JPM has pulled back. It pulled back $2 today, which is perfect. Right now, me holding this for not 9 more days until expiration is something I don't like to do. Again, if you're into gambling, if you like the thrill of it, I would say go for it. It's a wild ride. Because what happens is, as you start to approach expiration, basically the daily fluctuations get bigger and bigger. So one way to look at it is today, this position, I'm just going to focus on the summary here, so it's easier if I collapse it. So today, we moved down $2. Actually, we moved $2 in my favor, right? Because I had the 165 short call. So we moved $2 in my favor, and the position went up $37. That's how much value it gained today, right? If this would move $2 like 1 day before expiration, this would be like $100 or $150. So as you get closer and closer to expiration, each dollar move in the underlying starts to affect your overall P&L by much greater and greater numbers, like an increasingly greater. And that's what people refer to as gamma risk, is your positions just start to go wild in the plus or minus based on relatively small moves. So yeah, we're down $2 today. I can, this thing jumped $37 today as a P&L. It's right in between my short strikes with 9 days to go. And I don't really have any good reason to hold this, right? Remember, there's a 50% chance this thing is going to go down tomorrow, or 50% chance it's going to go up tomorrow. If it starts going a little bit higher up, it's going to start to challenge my call strikes again, and I'm going to be in a losing position. If it goes down $2 more tomorrow, then I'll be challenging my short puts, and I'll be in a losing position again. So I'm happy with this. If I look at the actual numbers today, you can see we opened this back on May 4th for $1.47. Then on June 1st, after holding it for almost a month, I rolled up my short puts, collected $47 more. So I collected $1.94 in total premium. I can buy it back today for $1.58, which is what I'm going to do in a few minutes. The only other interesting thing I want to take a look at here is I didn't make any money on this except for the original short put, right? So taking a look at the P&L here, the history here. So if I look at the initial puts, right? So I sold the 145 put, and I bought the 140. That was the $5 wing on the put side. I collected $69 of credit. And when I closed it out, right, when I closed out the 145, 140, that's when I rolled it on June 1st, I bought it back for $4. So on the puts here, that's where I made $65. And that's the only place I made money on this Iron Condor. The calls didn't really gain or lose money. So if I look at the 165 calls, initially I collected $78 in premium, and they're still open today, but I couldn't close it for that, right? I collected 78 in premium, and I think that's pretty much where they are today. Where are we? JPM. Yeah, if I look at my calls today, I got the 165, 170 call, and the 165 call, I would have to pay $1.17, but I would get 24 back. I mean, so the difference is like 90 something cents today. So that's how much that call spread is worth today. Because again, today it's much higher than it was, because back when we opened this, JPM was down here in the 150 range. Now it's trading for 163. So naturally, this call spread that was worth $78 is now worth more, right? So it's worth like 90 something. So I'm actually going to lose like $20 here. And I didn't make any money on the roll. So why did I roll those puts? If you recall, I closed out on June 1st. I closed out my 140, 145 put for $4. And I sold the 155, 160 put for 47. That's a 47 net gain. And the reason why you do that is for a couple of reasons. One is you want to give yourself a little bit more money, because imagine if JPM would have kept going up and it would be around 169, 170, then I would have a lot more extrinsic value to come out of these puts. So I would actually end up saving that $47 that I got, right? So that's $47 more in 10 premium I can squeeze out of it if the stock continues to move against me. Now that the stock moved back in my favor, I actually didn't make or lose any money on those two puts. So I picked up $47 net, which means I bought the old one back for $4. I sold the 160, 155 for $51 back on June 1st. And it's worth pretty much that much today. The two puts today, there you go, 96 minus 30. So it's worth like $67 today. So I may have lost $10 there. So that kind of makes sense, right? I made 65 or 60 something bucks on the initial put spread. I didn't make any on the new put spread, and I didn't make any money on the calls. Actually, I lost like 10, 20 on each one. Altogether on this position, I made about 30 something bucks, and I'm happy. I mean, this, again, my short call was tested twice. It could still get tested if I keep it open for much longer, and I'm pretty happy with the mechanics and what we did and when we did it. This worked out really well, and actually now it's moving even lower. Okay, it's actually moving toward that 162.50 magic midpoint between the short strikes. But overall, this worked out really well, so I'm going to close this. I'm getting back to the roll. So again, I opened that roll because if you look at the initial, I'm talking about the puts, like why did I roll the puts? Initially, we had the, was it 145, what did we open? 145, 140 put spread, right? And we got 69 credit for it. And we bought it back for $4. Had I kept that open, right, the 145, 140 today is only worth $2. Remember, I bought it back for $4 8 days ago on June 1st. So in 8 days, I would have only made $2 more, right? I could buy this back for $2 today. I bought it back for $4 8 days ago. So in those 8 days, I would have only made $2 had I held it. But by rolling this, yeah, and you can kind of see it. I mean, just before I move it, look at the theta on this one. I only get 81 cents of theta, right? Between 2.1 and 2.5. Oh, sorry, 0.4, right? Between 2.1 and 2.5, it's the theta of the two different puts. So put together, the put spread has a delta of only 42 cents a day, which means if this stock would have kept rallying and would be up like 167, 170, I would be only making 40 cents a day on those, maybe even less by the time it got there. But by rolling it up, this new short put spread, look at the theta here, 3.4, right? So this is actually making $3.40 for me, and that would help cushion my losses, right? It wouldn't help me recover losses. I mean, if this put spread goes up to like 175, if the underlying goes up to 175 and I'm approaching max loss, at least this helps cushion that somewhat, right? So that's why rolling it up makes sense. I'm right around 162.50. I'm happy with this. And So again, even though I didn't make any money on rolling up the put spread, I would have made money on it had the stock kept rallying. So yeah, the stock moved back in my favor. I didn't make or lose any money on it, but it would have definitely helped me out had the stock kept rallying. So I'm pretty happy with this. I'm going to close it out. Again, if I close it out today, I can record a $36 loss, $4 in transactions to open this, $2 in transactions to roll it. So $6 in transaction cost. I can close out that for 30 today. So I'm going to do that. 158, I believe, is what it used to calculate it. It was. So I'm going to do a GTC on this one. And let's see if that closes today. Hopefully it'll close today, maybe later today. Just before the closing bell, I might adjust it. Maybe I'll pay 159 or 160 just to help get it over. I don't want to hold this for another day. Again, another $1 move up or $1 move down could easily put this in a position where I'm losing money. So this is actually a good outcome, right? This Iron Condor tested my short strike twice, actually reached my break even once. Now pulled back. I can close it out for a small gain, more or less a scratch. So this is a good outcome. I'm happy, and I can now recover my buying power and open up another trade somewhere else. So, all right, that's it. Thanks very much.